Edna, are you back home already? It seems to be raining. Could you please bring the laundry inside?
Yes, I'm home. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
What should I do with your work shirts? Would you like me to iron them?
Well, you see, I actually have specific preferences about that. I'm unsure if you can do it the way I prefer.
I understand. So, should I assume you'll take care of it yourself then?
You've caught me. I take back what I said. Could you please handle it for me?
Of course. I'll manage it for you.
Where would I be without you? By the way, is your lunchbox still adequate for your needs? You've been using it for quite some time. If it's not, I can purchase a new one for you.
My lunchbox? I believe it's still sufficient. Why do you ask? Are you planning to use it yourself?
Don't you have upcoming field trip? I thought you might want to use it then.
Well, it's more like a competition than a field trip. But anyway, you're intending to pack me a lunch? Can you really manage it?
You usually leave home by 8 a.m., correct? It'll be all right. I'll wake up a bit earlier on that day.
No, not that. I'm more concerned about the lunch. Have you ever prepared a lunch before, honestly?
Hey, who do you think cooks dinner for you every night? A straightforward lunch is no issue.
Your dinners are often somewhat overcooked.
Don't you know? It's a cooking technique. I do it intentionally. In certain places around the world, it's regarded as a delicacy.
Maybe it'd be better if it was something considered a delicacy around here.
Well, I suppose it's your lunch. I'll strive to prepare it exactly how you prefer, all right?
Really? I'm still uncertain if I can trust your cooking.
Hey, I had rather impressive grades in home economics during my school days. Just wait and see. I think I'll genuinely amaze you.
Okay, I'm anticipating that then.
I've got this. Edna, how did it go? Did you enjoy yourself?
I apologize, Dad. I accidentally dropped the lunch.
Huh? Did you dislike it that much? I made sure to include only what you liked.
No, it's not that. It fell and landed face down in the dirt. I'm sorry. I know you put effort into it.
Ah, I understand. No need to worry. You didn't do it on purpose, right?
Yeah. I simply tripped, that's all. I wasn't paying proper attention.
Well, accidents happen. You didn't get hurt, did you?
No, I'm fine. I'm all right.
All right, then it's fine.
No, it's not fine. You woke up early to prepare it. And I couldn't even take a bite. All that hard work went to waste.
But you're unharmed.
That's true.
That's what matters most. Also, your lunch protected you from the fall. So it wasn't a complete loss.
Okay, Dad. Thank you.
No need to worry. By the way, you must be hungry since you missed lunch.
Actually, Mr. Harris got me some food. He said I could repay him later.
Oh, really? I'll express my gratitude when I see him.
If you give me the money, I can give it to him. And I'll tell him you said thank you. It's easier for you, considering your schedule.
That's considerate. However, I intend to thank him personally. I'd like to do it myself.
But if I do it, I can give him the money tomorrow. It might be more convenient for him too.
I suppose that's a valid point. Very well, I'll give you the money tonight. Just inform him that I'll thank him in person later as well.
I'll convey your gratitude. You don't need to go out of your way.
Edna, can you tell me the truth about what happened?
Huh?
I wanted to do it myself. Why are you opposed to me talking to your teacher?
No, it's not like that. I just thought it would inconvenience you due to your busy schedule.
Is that so?
Yes, honestly.
All right then. I'll give you the money tomorrow as promised. So please extend my thanks to your teacher.
Understood. I'll also express my gratitude. You don't have to trouble yourself.
Edna, why don't you share what truly transpired?
What do you mean?
I mentioned wanting to do it. Why are you against me talking to your teacher?
No, it's not that. I believed it might be burdensome for you given your busy schedule.
I see.
Yes, that's it. Honestly.
All right then. I'll give you the money tomorrow as planned. So please convey my thanks to your teacher.
Got it. I'll express my appreciation too, all right.
Hello, is this a good time?
Robert? I haven't heard from you recently. What happened? Did you miss me?
I see you almost every day, don't I? After all, you're my neighbor.
Even so, it's been a while since we've had a private conversation, right? I thought we were a solid team as single parents until lately. But you suddenly became distant.
Well, a lot of things have occurred since then.
What sort of things? I can't remember anything, so you'll have to fill me in.
Come on. Maybe it's better this way. Anyway, more importantly, there's something else I wanted to discuss.
What is it? Did something happen?
It seems my daughter dropped her lunch on a field trip. Mr. Harris ended up buying her lunch, so I visited the school to thank him.
Oh yes, I heard about that from Katie. That's unfortunate, right? Especially considering you went through the trouble of preparing her lunch. Were you upset about it?
Not really. As long as Edna wasn't hurt, I don't care much about the food.
Look at you being so understanding. Could you be the dad of the year?
It's not about me, actually. Mr. Harris mentioned that Katie deliberately knocked Edna's food out of her hands.
What? My Katie?
Yes. And she wouldn't explain why, even when he asked her. So, I wanted to see if you might know anything about it.
I'm sorry. I haven't heard anything either.
That's what I thought. I thought Edna and Katie were getting along so well. Maybe they're having a disagreement?
Really? If Katie did that, I'll have a talk with her. Anyway, let's leave that aside. I'm curious, why have you stopped using my name?
Is that really important right now? We're discussing our children.
I can't help but wonder. So, why the change from calling me Andrea to just Ms. Parker? And you stopped attending the parent groups too. What's going on?
I already told you, didn't I? A lot has happened, so let's not dive into it now.
When you mention a lot happened, is it because I confessed my feelings to you? Is that the reason?
Yes, that's one aspect. We talked about it after I rejected you that day, remember? I was concerned about the impact on our kids. Wouldn't it be odd for Katie if she knew you liked her friend's dad? So I thought keeping our distance was best.
I understand now. So that's what you meant. I assumed you meant keeping our relationship a secret from them.
I'm not sure how you interpreted it that way. Besides, it's only been 2 years since my wife passed away. I can't even contemplate dating others right now.
Ah. So her memory still lingers.
I appreciate your feelings for me. But when I consider Edna, I realize I don't have an answer for you. At least for now, I can't date until she's grown and out of the house.
Even if that's the case, there's no issue with me still having feelings for you. My emotions are mine.
Then feel whatever you need to feel. Yet, I will maintain a proper distance between us. My daughter is my top priority right now. I can't do anything to upset her.
Well, do as you see fit. I'll talk to my daughter about her actions, so you don't need to worry.
Thanks, I'm grateful.
I don't want to cause problems for you, regardless of our personal issues. Anyway, take care.
What's happening between you and Katie's mom, then?
What's going on here? We're both parents with kids in the same class.
Are you being honest with me? You're just avoiding telling me.
No, I'm not being dishonest. What's bothering you today?
I already have all the information. You and Katie's mom have been meeting quite often. Katie informed me. Are you still going to attempt to deceive me?
I've already told you I'm not being untruthful. Katie's mom and I used to chat around 6 months ago, that's all. You were aware of that already, anyhow.
Well, remember the other day when I dropped the lunch you packed for me? Actually, Katie was the one who did it.
Yes, I heard about it from your teacher. You didn't mention it because Katie's your friend, correct?
Yes. But I asked Katie why she did it. And she mentioned it was because you took her mom away from her.
What do you mean? She claimed her mom and I were dating?
She stated you took her mom from her. She mentioned that you don't love mommy anymore. And maybe you don't love me either.
What? I absolutely love you. You're the most important person to me in the world.
Really?
Of course. Besides, I would never date your friend's mom. It's true we used to talk a bit. But now we just exchange hellos here and there, that's all. You know that, right?
But you used to say hello every day. And she was almost always there when you went shopping.
Well, now that you put it that way, I did see her quite a bit.
I had a feeling. It seemed excessive unless you were secretly in a relationship, right?
No, it was genuinely coincidental. And I always informed you whenever I met up with her. That's it. I never kept anything from you. We did promise to always communicate, didn't we?
Yes. Okay. I trust you.
Thank you. Regardless of whether you like it or not, I'll always be here for you. You mean the world to me, after all. Naturally, I'll never stop loving your mother either. So, please never worry about that.
I'm sorry, Dad. I shouldn't have accused you of lying.
It's all right. Now that you believe me, that's what matters. It's understandable that you'd question it, hearing it from Katie.
From now on, I promise I'll always inform you if something's wrong. Even if I think it's bad news.
All right? I'd feel more at ease if you do that. I need to discuss something important with you. Is now a suitable time?
Thank you for reaching out. It's wonderful to hear from you. I've mentioned this before, but anytime you want to talk works for me.
I'm glad you're happy, but this is a serious matter. Edna mentioned hearing this from Katie, and it appears you've been leaving Katie alone at home frequently. Claiming you're meeting me?
Katie shared that with Edna? Yes, that's accurate. Is there an issue with that?
We haven't met since the last time we talked about our feelings. Thus, I'm a bit confused as to why you're telling your daughter that we're spending time together.
Well, we used to run into each other often, didn't we? So I started saying I'm off to say hi to Edna's dad whenever I left the house. Occasionally, it slips out of habit. Katie must have taken it literally and misunderstood.
Really? Is that your explanation? If you want to be honest, now is the time.
Absolutely. Why would I lie? Plus, all we did was exchange greetings or occasionally shop together for groceries. It was coincidental, of course.
I initially thought the same. But when I heard Edna discuss it, the situation started seeming strange from every angle.
What's strange about it? Why wouldn't neighbors greet each other in the morning? And in a small town like this, meeting at the store isn't unusual.
I agreed at first. However, we started bumping into each other frequently at the grocery store near my workplace as well.
I worked close to that store at the time. I mentioned that to you.
But you changed jobs after I declined your advances. That made me wonder, especially since things seemed positive at your previous workplace.
A lot happened, all right? Relax. No one likes a nosy person.
That's fine with me. For now, it suits me just fine.
Cold. Anyway, I'm tired of discussing this. Now that you're texting me, let's talk about something enjoyable.
Perhaps you're right. Sure, let's shift to a more enjoyable topic.
That's the spirit. What should we discuss? Would you like to hear about the delicious pancakes Katie and I had recently? I think Edna would adore them too.
How about this instead? It's a clear picture of you following me, isn't it?
Ugh, what's this? Did you manipulate this image?
No, absolutely not. It's a picture of me coming home from work the day before yesterday.
What's going on? Is this some sort of setup? Is this your peculiar way of grabbing my attention? So, I guess you do like me, after all?
Not convinced? How about another picture? Or perhaps a video? I started investigating after Edna and Katie argued. And I have more evidence.
What? You've known this for that long? Do you really possess more proof? I suppose I need to confess.
So, you admit to trailing me? Why would you do something like that?
If you had just agreed to date me, none of this would have happened. Moreover, you stopped talking to me like we used to. If you hadn't said what you did, our daughters wouldn't have fought.
So, You deliberately told your daughter that we were meeting up?
It didn't work out as well as I hoped. I underestimated how optimistic kids can be. I never thought they'd make up so quickly.
What did you expect? All you did was hurt them.
I took necessary steps to prolong their conflict. I believed that if the conflict persisted, you'd eventually communicate with me again. That was my primary intention.
So, you'd harm your own daughter just to achieve your desires? Do you even understand the responsibilities of parenthood?
I was single before becoming a parent. An unattached woman might take various measures to maintain contact with someone she's interested in. I pursued you to discern your vulnerabilities, hoping to leverage them for a potential relationship.
Why exploit the weaknesses of someone you claim to like? I'd never use my own daughter as a pawn to fulfill my wishes.
It's a matter of personal choice. My actions were not against the law. Regardless, the pertinent query is your course of action going forward. If you agree to date me, I'll extend my forgiveness.
What do you mean by forgive? Your actions are the ones in question here.
You captured those images without my consent. In a legal context, those photos lack credibility.
So, what precisely are you implying?
You lacked valid evidence against me, which led you to illegally photograph me. This places you in the wrong. However, I'm willing to overlook that if you agree to a date.
Absolutely not.
Are you entirely certain? How about I reveal these photos to Edna? Or inform Katie about your secret photography? Consider the impact on their relationships. To avoid finding out, you might want to decide on our dinner plans.
I can't believe you're resorting to involving the children. A responsible parent wouldn't stoop to such tactics. By the way, I won't hesitate to use those photos as evidence of stalking.
Oh, really? Your desperation is clouding your judgment. Fabricating lies won't serve you well.
An acquaintance of mine was behind these pictures. You were incidentally caught in the frame.
You don't honestly think that excuse holds water, do you? If I claim that you've been illicitly photographing me, public opinion will favor me.
Even if you had a case, your stalking initiated this chain of events. The well-being of my daughter outweighs any personal consequence for me.
Let's think logically here. If we proceed down this path, we'll both suffer. Why not move past this and restore our previous rapport?
I don't want you near my daughter anymore.
How about this proposal then? I'll cease my surveillance. And I'll refrain from any unsettling behavior around our daughters. We'll maintain a respectful distance, just as you suggested. That should be acceptable, right?
Can I entrust someone who could so easily hurt her own daughter? Matters will likely resolve themselves through the legal process.
Come on, reconsider this entire situation. It's an exaggerated crush that got out of hand. If something happens to me, it'll affect Katie negatively as well. A good-hearted person like you wouldn't want that, right?
I've already discussed this with your mother. Katie should be with your mom by now. You can't use her as a shield any longer. Your mother actually suggested I report this to the authorities. She believes facing consequences would be beneficial for you.
I hadn't heard about Katie going to my mom's.
I'm informing you now.
What's gotten into you? How could you take my daughter away? And to converse with my mother behind my back? You're like a monster.
I won't tolerate such words from someone who manipulates her child into fights. I promise to do anything to safeguard my daughter. This is my interpretation of responsible parenting. Following that, I presented my evidence and reported the damages. Due to it being her initial offense, and the nature of it being a minor crime, Andrea ultimately received only a restraining order. Subsequently, Andrea and her daughter relocated to live with her mother. Given all that transpired, it appears Andrea's sentiment towards me has shifted. It seems her parents were also quite stern with her. I overheard they warned her that any recurrence would lead to her separation from her daughter and expulsion from home. Despite her actions being notably self-centered, I hope she's taken the opportunity to introspect and enhance herself. Katie and Edna not only reconciled, but their friendship also strengthened considerably. Rarely does a day pass without them conversing on the phone. Moreover, it was a great relief to learn that Katie is adjusting well to her new school and thriving. I don't intend to undermine the notion that parents must attend to their own well-being and needs as individuals. Yet, embracing fatherhood entailed making it my foremost priority. I'm convinced that I must devote all within my means to my daughter throughout my life. The choice to become a parent comes with an enduring commitment. Perhaps in the future, romance could find its way back into my life. However, presently, my daughter's emotional welfare takes precedence. From my standpoint, that stands as a primary responsibility of a parent.